SureDog.com here with Sarah Kaufman, victorious over Leslie Smith at Invicta. Sarah, how do you feel about your decision?
You know, I feel really good. I was actually really surprised that it was a split decision. I thought that I clearly won the first and the third. I know I lost the second. So when they said split decision, it had me a little bit worried because I wasn't quite sure what the judges had seen. But when you're in the fight, it clearly feels a lot different than when you're, kind of viewing it from the outside. So, I'm glad that most people have said that they thought that I won the first and the third without too much controversy.
Interesting. So how did you feel about the crowd's reaction?
I think there were a lot of Leslie Smith fans here, a lot of people who've been to Invicta before and have seen Leslie fight. She puts on great fights. She kind of brings out the fighter in people, and I knew that was the case. I got a little sloppy in the second, and, her foot clipped me with that head kick there. But overall, I feel really good with my performance, and you never want to get booed, especially after a fight of the night. But, judging can always, be a little tricky when the fans have a kind of passion and feel for someone.
In the post-fight press conference, Leslie said that she didn't think that Zuffa would be really proud to have, a fighter who won a decision that was so controversial. How did you feel about her comment?
I think it's just her trying to get attention for the most part. Good for her, but at the end of the day, I got the win. I deserved the win. I have a contract with the UFC, and I've had a couple titles before, and, I don't really put much weight to it. I think it's more just Leslie trying to get her foot in the door, and, she'd be a great asset to the division in the UFC.
Can you talk a little bit about fighting for Invicta while still under UFC contract?
For the most part, there's a great relationship as far as I know between, the UFC and Zuffa and Shannon Knapp at Invicta here. And it's great for the athletes that are in the 135-pound division because we're having that kind of dual access to having fights. If the UFC doesn't have a fight, they'll give you the option to take a fight somewhere else. And I think it's kind of a catch-22. You have to be careful what fights you take because you want to save the big fights for the UFC. But as a fighter, I just want to get in the cage. And so if I'm able to fight in both places, I'm really happy with that.
Anybody else you have your eyes on?
I'm going to be getting that Ronda fight back. I don't know when. I don't know where. It'll likely be in the UFC, but that's what I'm gunning for. That's the fight that I should have won the first time, and I will win the second time.
So what are you going to do different the second time?
Not get armbarred in a minute.